Hi, my name is Lori Lang, and this is step 2 in your 5 steps to being irresistible, video 2. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch video 1, I want you to go back and watch it. And if you don't feel like doing that right now, that's okay, but do it later because step 1 is extremely important. It's the foundation for this step. Step 1 is packing your bags. So again, don't forget that step. This step, step 2, is designing your destiny. I know, kind of another goofy title, but it's important. And why is that? Think of going on vacation without knowing where you're going or packing a bag. What if you needed a coat and you go somewhere cold, but you didn't think to pack anything? We've got to do some planning. You know, we're not 18 anymore, just kind of winging it. Step 2 is about knowing who and what you want and what you're looking for, as well as, and this is just as important, knowing who and what you don't want in your life. We're adults now. We need to be decisive. We need to know exactly who and what we want and who and what we don't want. And the kind of fun thing I'd like you to do, and this is something that I did and I really believe it makes a difference, I want you to go to a stationery store, anywhere, and I want you to get a journal. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but if you're like me and you like something kind of that feels good, buy yourself a leather journal, something that feels good in your hands. Get yourself a nice pen and a pencil and get away. I was feeling a little self-conscious when I did this, so I went like 15 minutes away. You don't need to do that. You can just kind of turn everything off and sit in your chair and kind of cuddle up and think. But I want you, the key, I want you to write it down. I want you to write down everything you want, even the silly things. I like curly hair, you know, whatever. Write down what you want and write down what you don't want. Like, I hate curly hair. You know, write down what you want and don't want. And I want you to think about things that maybe don't come right to mind, like, say you're allergic to peanuts. Okay, so you're not going to date a peanut farmer. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I want you to be clear and I want you to be specific. Who and what you want. And one quick story about this is I did this, as I just told you, and I got really specific. And I kind of reread it at times and I adjusted it and I added things and I took things away. And I actually really fine-tuned this list. I took this to heart. And, you know, about fall of 2010, my now husband Chuck popped up on Facebook and we started talking a little bit and it was nothing and then fizzled out. Well, months later, he pulled up behind me, and this is kind of a long story, but we ended up talking. As you can tell now, the rest is history. But the third time we got together, we were sitting down and I finally just sat. I said, you know, it is really too bad we can't date. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, I thought that's what we were doing. And I said, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. You had mentioned you wanted kids and I don't want kids. I can't have any more kids. I've got my 2, I'm done. So I already decided I wouldn't date anybody who wanted kids. So I should have been more clear. Start apologizing. And he kind of stopped me. He said, you're right, you know, I said I wanted kids, but they didn't need to be my kids. And obviously the story goes on from there, but that's how firm I was in what I wanted and what I didn't want. And I felt really good and confident about that to the point where it didn't even faze me to say it out loud. And I want that for you. So step 2, I want you to design your destiny, who and what you want. I want you to write it down and narrow your focus. And why? Because it's going to save you time and emotional energy from people that aren't what you need and aren't what you want. So that's step 2. My name is Lori Lang, and I will see you tomorrow with step 3 in your 5 simple steps to being irresistible. Take care.